Hello everybody, I'm Tony Pettit. This is Out and About with Tony and Diane.
And I'm here on time because we have a very, very, very neat, cool guest today.
Yeah, and Diane was afraid to be wandering about because she might find herself in trouble because we are with our newest chief of police here in Streator. This is Chief John Franklin.
Good morning, everyone. How are you?
Nice to be here with you, sir.
It's a pleasure to meet both of you.
So we're going to talk a little bit about what goes on with the police department, how he feels about being here. This is the recently renovated
yes.
police station. So we're downstairs from City
Oh, I
Hall.
forgot. It was different in a different spot, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was upstairs. Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So now if you come to the police department, you have to pull in around the back of City Hall, and there's a separate entrance there that gets you into where we are
Or
today.
you can park across the street. We have a public parking lot across the street.
That is
I didn't know that either.
How could you not know that?
Well, the
under a
police station is not really a place that I come to very often, Tony.
But we'll have to change that.
Oh, no, I'm good. I'm being good. I am being good. I'm being good.
So we're going to be able to start on time today. We don't have to chase Diane down. She's right
Believe it
where
or
she's
not,
supposed
good
to be.
people come to the police station too.
Well, we're here right now.
That's right. not just people.
But we just want to talk about like the inner workings. Like we were at the fire department last week, and they took us through and told us the inner workings of the fire department and stuff. And I understand. Have you always been a chief? I mean, you have to work up to be a chief, don't you?
No, I have not always been a chief. You start out in any police department usually as a patrolman, and I did 28 years with Chicago PD. I started out as a patrolman, and then I was a tactical officer.
What's a tactical officer?
Basically, you work in a plainclothes unit, and you're considered. There's 25 districts in Chicago Police. Now they whittled it down to 22. Every district station has its own plainclothes unit or tactical unit, and you're considered like the detective of your district.
Are they like undercover?
No, you're in plainclothes,
okay,
but you wear a vest and you have a duty belt, and everybody knows you're the police. But you handle you go in on the more difficult and more violent assignments. That's what you're supposed to do.
So you build yourself up from patrolman, now you're tactical.
Tactical officer, then eventually I was promoted to sergeant, and then eventually lieutenant, and then eventually commander of a district station. And
is a commander and a chief the same thing?
No.
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 Okay.
Commander, you're part of the command staff, but you're not the superintendent of police in Chicago. You still got a number of ways to go from there. You got to go from commander to deputy chief to, well, we have several chiefs. We have a chief of internal affairs, we have a chief of organized crime division, and I believe we have a chief of CAPS, community policing, or constitutional policing they call it now. Then you go to first deputy superintendent, and then superintendent.
Oh, okay.
So you still got a few ways to go.
And you have to go to school to be a policeman.
Yeah,
okay.
definitely.
I'm sorry, Tony, go ahead.
But Chicago being a major
City.
metropolitan area with a tremendous population has a much more complicated system of policing or hierarchy than we have here in Streator, right?
When you have a big department, you have a lot of layers of supervision. Because at one time we had over 13,000 members at the Chicago Police Department.
Right. Wow.
And here we basically have patrolman, investigator, sergeant. The city eliminated the rank of lieutenant. Lieutenants were basically the shift commanders. And then we go from lieutenant, back then you went from lieutenant to deputy chief or chief. So you eliminated lieutenants, all you got now is patrolman, sergeant, investigator, sergeant, deputy chief, chief.
And when did the lieutenants, when were they eliminated?
It wasn't too long ago. I guess after the last lieutenant retired, the city decided to flatten or compress the ranks. A lot of cities have done that during the pandemic, basically as a cost-cutting measure, because they did studies and felt that, well, we really don't need this, we really don't need that. I would have liked to seen it reinstated when I got here because I felt that the sergeant needed something to shoot for between sergeant and deputy chief and chief. But the city did a study on it and they said they're not bringing it back, so that's just.
Is this your first chief job?
No, this is my third and probably my last.
And your
chief job.
third and last.
Yeah.
So you did not come directly from Chicago then?
No.
Okay.
After I retired from Chicago, I actually was an adjunct college professor of criminal justice for 7.5 years.
Wow.
Wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and
Wow.
did a lot of instructing, did a lot of mentoring of my students. I think I got about 9 or 10 students from that time that are policemen now. 2 of them work in Homeland Security.
Wow.
Wow,
So,
that says a lot for you.
Well,
But we're fortunate
it says a
to
lot
have
for
you,
them.
aren't we?
It says a lot for them.
Well, say it again, Tony.
Yeah, but we're fortunate to have you.
Well, I feel fortunate to be here. I love Streator. Streator's a nice city, and I've been greeted very warmly by the residents of Streator, so I feel very glad to be here.
Oh, you always hear that bits and pieces about different things.
Well-
you know, there's always the naysayer.
Well, listen, you're not going to win everybody over when you're a police officer, regardless of your rank.
Exactly.
There are some people that just don't like the police, and they may have reasons for that. And maybe they've been maltreated or something. Maybe they knew somebody in their family who they feel got a raw. People have different opinions, and that's what's great about America. People can feel what they want to feel. You're not going to win everybody over, but I think I've made myself very accessible to the residents here. I eat in town. You know, I eat at Good Day.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Day, yep.
I eat at Chick's. I had dinner 2 weeks ago at Gaetano's Vault. That's my second trip there. Can't wait till the outdoor patio opens in the summer.
Oh, that's what we did last year.
You know,
I got to interject here, but I think that the way you have presented yourself and as a result represent the police department in our community is a different approach than we've seen from our previous officers, and I think it's very welcoming. I think people are really appreciate the fact that you come out and you visit with people and that you go to the local restaurants and you make, you know what I mean? I think that's made a tremendous impact on our community.
I've been on just about every business on Main Street.
Right, which is great.
Really?
And in the
That's
parade,
neat. That's
you know,
And
driving down
I
the-
say at least once a week I'll just park my car and just walk in on the business, say hi.
Speaking of walking, back in the old days, I guess, they used to call it, what, walking the beat?
We don't have the manpower to do that today.
And that's what I was going to ask you. How many people, men, women, are employed here at the police station?
Well, currently we have 20 officers here.
20 officers. Is that a full staff?
It's not as full as we'd like it. We have had as many historically as 28 officers here at the Streator Police Department. I believe right now I believe we might have 21 actually, but we definitely need more bodies. But I also understand budgeting and what the city can afford, you know, to hire. We have hired 2 lateral hires. We have hired a young man we put in the academy last year. He came out in November, I believe, and he's on the street now. Michael Elias, he's our newest patrolman.
Thank you, Michael.
And hopefully we're going to be able to extend an offer to someone who is an applicant here. We gave a eligibility test in October, and 5 people signed up, 3 people took the test.
Wow.
And we have 1 person who apparently has passed all the vetting processes to get hired here by the Streator Police Department. So hopefully we'll be able to extend an offer of employment to this young man in the next week and a half.
Wonderful. Is there any women? Do we have any women?
Unfortunately,
no.
We have tried very hard to hire women. Unfortunately, 2 women that we had attempted to bring on our department, unfortunately didn't get through all the vetting process. And we haven't changed our vetting process. People still have to, you know, take an eligibility test. They have to pass a thorough background inspection. They have to pass the power test. They have to go to community college and get a card showing that they passed the power test. That they can lift appropriate weight, run, jump, whatever, sit-ups, sit and reach.
You don't have to lift all that big stuff like the fire department does.
Well,
those jaws of life are heavy.
I won't go there. I'll just say.
So it's not for a lack of applicants. The women have applied.
Yes.
They just haven't been
They
able
just
to
haven't been able to
get through the
and I
process.
hope, I've been to, is it IBCC?
Yes,
Community
yes, sir,
College.
yes,
I've gone out there and talked to young people out there about pursuing careers in law enforcement.
Wow.
And I'd like to do that again, because we're going to offer another test soon. Now that this test
Now,
is
do they
completed.
take the test here?
Yes.
Or is it, okay.
Yes.
And how long, when did you come to Streator? How long have you been
September
here?
1st. I've been here 7 months.
Okay.
And
So you have, I'm sure, or I would assume, that you have a plan or a process that you hope to incur.
One thing I'm doing right now is getting my sergeants and everybody in the command structure get them to take some executive training so they are ready to take on the next step whenever my time comes, so that the city has an ample amount of applicants they can pick from here, and they can just move somebody forward. It's always good when you can promote from within. And I have an excellent deputy chief here, Robert Wood. I have a few excellent sergeants here.
Now, right now, this is considered the day shift?
This is the day shift.
Okay, and what is the day shift? Like 7 to 3? Like
6 to 6, 12-hour shifts.
Oh, 12-hour shifts.
6 to 6, and then 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
3 days a week or 4 days a week?
It depends on the shift. Different shifts work different schedules, but I also make a point to come in and talk to my crew at least twice a week. Well, I'll either come in at 6 a.m. and talk to the guys coming and going, or I'll stay here till 6 p.m. and talk to the guys coming and going. Because it's important that they hear from the chief at least once a week, everybody. So I can find out what they need, what they think we need to do, or what's going on with them in their personal lives, if I can help. And they need to find out my expectations, what I think we need to be doing, or how we can do things
kind of like
better.
a team meeting.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. All right.
I also hold a staff meeting once a month with all of my sergeants and the deputy chief, where we hash out, where we see the department going, what we think we need to do to improve. I have an open forum where they're free to say whatever they need to say. If they think we can improve on this or improve on that, or what we need to move things forward, I want to hear from them. My door is always open, my phone is always on.
7 months that you've been here, right? So what kind of systems are in place, or things that you have implemented in your chiefdom?
Well, we have acquired
The king.
we have acquired body cams.
We never had those before?
No. Everybody is mandated to have them by 2025.
Oh, throughout the United States.
Not the state of Illinois.
Oh, Illinois. All right.
Every state's different.
So we're early. We're on
So
schedule.
we have them. We're not implementing them yet because we have to wait for the company we got them from, Motorola. They're going to give us some training on it, and they can't schedule us until.
Where do you wear a body cam? Where is it?
You wear it.
You don't.
Where is that?
Oh, is there like a little? Oh, this little thing right here.
Yeah. You'll put it there.
There's like a little hoop
And on your
here.
vest, you've got a hoop.
You mind if I look?
Yeah.
There's like a little loop
Yeah,
here.
that's where you put the
So
body
that
cam.
you would put it, huh?
That's where you.
How
put
big is it?
It's about as big as a box, a little cigarette box. A little container of cigarettes.
It's got a microphone and everything.
Yeah. Everything.
Now, does it run all the time, or do you have to press a button and make
No,
it run?
it's
or?
not. It's not going to run all the time. The way we'll probably have configured when the officer puts on his emergency lights, they just make a car stop. That will trigger the camera to cut on automatically.
So it's connected.
And
Wow.
certain calls, domestics, things of that nature, they'll have to have it on when they get out the car, so it's recording from the moment they arrive. And some cameras even have a function where it's running very slowly. It can play back the last 30 seconds before you started it.
Well,
But the main
technology.
thing is this is a time that's come in law enforcement. People don't always take the word of a police officer, so you've got to have cameras, because people feel if it wasn't captured on film, then it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Or it didn't happen the way somebody says it.
Wow.
Well, also, I think in the past, our previous chief had asked were they registered citizens or residents cameras, right? Surveillance systems outside, so they could help with the police department if there was a crime that was committed or something. So there's a registry. If you have cameras at home and you're not registered with the police department, you can come in and register.
I'll tell you this. We recently had an officer-involved shooting here. It happened in the park by, what's that high school? It's
Sherman School, by the Sherman School,
yes.
yeah.
Happened right across the street from the Sherman School, and a resident's home camera captured the whole thing, audio and video.
Right.
Wow.
Which is very helpful, right?
Yeah, extremely
So,
helpful.
Well,
and
now-
that program still exists, correct?
yes.
Is it not?
Well, and
So-
I think I saw on Facebook today, I know you don't do
No,
Facebook
I
or any of
don't.
that stuff, but I think I saw on there that there's some burglaries or cars being broken into.
That
or
happened over the
something.
weekend.
And you want
We've
people
got
to look at the, what do they call them,
we've
door
got about-
cams or something?
Yeah, we've
The
got
Ring
ring
doorbells.
cameras. Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got about
Ring
36 reports so far. 2 more people came in this morning.
Oh my, yay, go Streetor,
But-
Streetor strong.
We do have the suspect vehicle that caused this damage. We do have the suspect vehicle identified, and hopefully we'll have this cleared up by today or tomorrow.
Wow.
So We got some good intel and it panned out.
Okay, now when you were playing with the little thing when we came in here this morning, you called it a taser?
I wasn't playing about putting it away.
You were putting it, oh, you used it?
Unfortunately, I had to utilize it today.
Now, oh, that gives me the goosebumps. It's electric? I mean, it zaps you? What does it do?
What it does is it fires electrical impulse that makes imagine all the muscles in your body doing this, even faster than this, for 5 seconds.
That's me.
That's it. Just you lose control, and your ability to resist, to fight, to harm someone is minimized for that 5 seconds.
Now, can you make it stronger?
No.
It just
gives a 5-second burst.
So you, for lack of a better term, you pull a trigger and it sets off
It sends out 2 electrical barbs that will strike you wherever the officer aims.
So it's not wireless. It's actually something
No,
physically
there are wires.
comes
Yes.
flying.
Here's the cartridge that was used today, and as you see, we had to cut it when the EMTs came to give the guy an examination, because if anyone is tased, they have to be examined by an EMT.
But this doesn't attach to them.
No,
I mean,
there are barbs at the end. The wires are actually a lot longer. They go about 25, 30 feet.
Oh.
And the barbs
stay
stay on the end. They're like little fish hooks on the end.
Oh.
And they go in,
Wow.
and
they stick there?
Well, yeah, they have to be removed, but that administers the shock. So.
Have you ever done it to yourself?
Does it go? How does it? Wait. If it's 20 feet long.
Well, you have a little explosive charge in here. It'll sound like a gun when you fire it. Pow! And the barbs.
And it flies straight.
Yeah. They spread out a little bit, but they fly pretty straight.
Because of the amount of pressure behind it that's forcing it straight out. So it's not going whoop.
No. It's going straight out.
Wow.
And there's a little light also, like a laser, that shows the person,
Here it comes.
Here it comes.
Oh, wow.
And officers usually yell out, taser, taser, taser 3 times before they use it. So people are warned when it's coming, if it's coming. And it's only used under certain circumstances. Like today, unfortunately, we had a call about 8:30ish of a man with brandishing a knife. And
people, come on.
I guess a resident called it in and kept him under
kidding.
Kept him under sight till we arrived out there, and the gentleman had a machete, a baseball bat, and numerous other knives on his person. And
no guns?
No guns, but knives can do a pretty good job.
Right, yeah, you don't need a gun if you want to hurt somebody.
Unfortunately, got him in an ambulance.
Now, is it common practice for a chief of police to be out on a call?
We don't have a lot of personnel here, so I will say that I go on the street usually every day for an hour and a half.
How many people you said this is a 6 to 6 shift. How many people are on shift today?
Let's see. We have 3 today.
3.
I was going to say, of the 20 officers or members of the police department, are all of them active?
Well, some are on injured duty. I got an officer who's recovering from rotator cuff surgery. I got another officer who has a shoulder and neck injury. He has yet to have any corrective means done to that yet. I had an officer who was injured New Year's Eve night. We chased a man out of Walmart with about $3,700 of merchandise.
Oh my God.
And he hurt his knees chasing that guy. He's just recently come back to work from that. So people, officers get injured, and then officers have vacation. Officers need time off. Some of these officers, have.
So how many do we have active of the 20, notwithstanding the injuries, but let's say everybody's healthy and able to come to work? How many officers do we have that are actually not working inside the building but work outside the building?
I don't have any officers working inside.
Okay.
We're all on the street.
Everybody's on the street.
We don't have the luxury of having a sworn officer inside.
So what if you have somebody in jail?
We watch them while they're in jail.
Well, I know, but is there
cameras?
Is there somebody here all the time?
There are cameras in the jail, and I have gone back to physically visualize, inspect prisoners in our locker.
Is there a rule how many times you have to do that?
I believe we got to do about every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes?
The camera would probably be.
Well, even with the camera, you still need to go back there and see what's going on, because
Wow.
people can do a lot of things to themselves in 15 minutes or less if they're determined to do so.
Correct. So all of our police department then is actively patrolling.
Yes.
And does everybody carry a taser? Or not?
I can't say everyone does.
Okay.
I say probably the vast majority of them do. This is the first time I've ever taken a taser out today.
Wow.
because of the nature of the call.
Okay.
And they called for additional units, and I said, well, let me grab the taser.
Wow.
So getting back to what Diane was asking about how many we have on shift, so is there, in talking with the fire department, there's a minimum number of fire?
Our minimum strength is 3 officers.
Okay,
So we always have 3. Sometimes we have 4.
we do. We always have 3.
Yeah, but we always going to have a minimum. The minimum.
Well, it used to be always see 2 in a car, like when the cars would be.
Well,
you always see
you
2 in
don't
a
have
car.
you don't
We don't
have
have
2-man cars here. Most small departments don't have 2-man officers. It's a luxury. That in Chicago you wouldn't go out on the street without a partner. Pretty much, unless it's day, unless it's day shift.
So I think Diane and I can both agree on this, and I've heard this from other residents in the community, that we seem to see a greater police presence too recently in the last 6 to 7 months since you've been on.
Well, that's good. You need to see it, because I don't need any officers hanging around in here. There's no crime to fight in the building. The crime to fight is out on the street. That's where they need to be.
So the visibility is definitely there. We also see a lot more flashing lights than I recall seeing in the past.
How many cars do we have?
Well, like I said, we have 3 people on the street. You've got 3 cars, plus my car and my deputy chief's car, so that would be a potential of 5 on any given shift. Matter of fact, this incident with the gentleman this morning with the brandishing the knife and the baseball bat, you had all of us out there, myself, the deputy chief, and the 3 officers.
Did you have a vest, one of those vest things on?
Yes, yes.
Are those heavy?
They're not super light, but you get used to them over time. I mean,
You put it over the top of your clothes?
it's necessity. Well, some guys wear them under their uniform shirt. I prefer to wear it and take it off.
Have you ever been shot at?
I've even been hit by a bullet
I was
once.
just going to ask you if you ever.
Yeah, that happened in Chicago a long time ago.
So we hear so much now, and this, I think not just in the police department, but in our society as a whole, the effect the mental illness have on individuals, and how many individuals refuse treatment or refuse to get diagnosis, or
refuse to take their meds.
Or refuse to take their meds, and how difficult does that make policing? Do you find that that's a part of life here in Streator, that you find many people
Let me tell you what most police departments are finding out, and many chiefs will tell you. You're answering more calls due to mental illness or drug addiction, drug-addicted mental illness, than you are for actual law breaking.
Really?
Many of the calls we go on are because the family's dysfunctional due to somebody being addicted, or somebody who's not gotten adequate treatment for what afflicts them.
Now, when you're training and stuff, do you take any kind of psychological
warfare
training?
You do take. We do have de-escalation training
to
calm the situation down. Matter of fact, today, Deputy Chief Wood was talking to that gentleman out there on the street, and he was trying to engage with him and try to get this guy calmed down, but he was very fired up. You could see his muscles flexing.
Do you think he was on drugs? Or
I'm not going to make that assumption.
You won't say, okay,
I don't know.
That's fine. No, it's not my business.
But he was
anyway.
not involved in a criminal act of robbery or breaking.
No, not actively, but walking down the street with a machete, that draws people to be concerned. Obviously,
sure.
If a person looks disheveled and they're walking down the street with a machete, you have to assume that somebody's looking to do somebody harm.
Correct.
If not himself, someone else.
So, what do you think has been your list of accomplishments since you've been here, which is a very short time, but I think you've accomplished a lot, at least from what I hear from the public. And then where do you hope to take us, besides grooming a successor to the eventual departure, because you're not going to work till you die.
No.
So where do you hope to take Streator in your
I want to see,
term?
I'm glad that we have a good community outreach. I think we have really changed that up since I've gotten here. Our community outreach, talking to people, getting people to talk back to us. I heard a young man one day, I was in Walgreens buying something, and I told these 2 young men, they came outside, they were talking to me about something else, and I said, hey fellas, have you ever taken a tour of the police department? Why don't you come follow me over there, and I'd be glad to give you a tour. And they said, look man, too many of my homies have wound up in your police station. I said, let me explain something to you, young man. If too many of your homies have wound up in my station, then you need some new friends.
Woo!
I told them, because I was once your age. My friends didn't go to jail. My friends didn't deal drugs, steal cars, or anything else. Most of us went to college and wound up a pretty good career. So if your friends aren't on that path, then you need some new friends. I hope you listen to me. Our facility was remodeled by the city of Streator. We're now in the basement. I understand at one time we were upstairs, and now we're down here. This used to be a range area, and now we have to go to an outdoor range to requalify with our firearms. But this is our facility. This is my office. A few patches from other police departments, the people I've encountered from other PDs. Some memorabilia from my time in Chicago PD. The Tommy gun, I've never touched it. But we get a lot of work done here. It's a nice facility. I wouldn't have picked a light carpet, you know, but other than that, it's a nice facility. You guys ready to take the tour? Come on, let's go. Just conduct their business, write reports. As you can see, they have offices. Computer, everything's generated on computer. Got another office in here. Another office here, reports being written there. So this is, our records office is closed. It's Friday. They close at 1 o'clock. So my records clerks are gone for the day. And we'll go this way. This is like a little stop station where we make copies, collate reports. Watch out. This is our cafeteria where our officers will have a meal. We might have a little training in here. We can hook up a computer to our big screen TV. This is where I hope to be hosting the Citizen Police Academy in the coming month or so. We'll be hosting it right here. And we're going to make another right here. This is our supervisor's office where all of our sergeants work out of. We also hold roll call here. It's usually no more than about 4 or 5 officers per shift. But this is where my sergeants all conduct their business, do their roll calls with their troops when they come in. Our shifts are 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 6 p.m. to 6 a.m., 12-hour shifts. Okay, as a rule, we gotta lock up guns. Before we come in lockup, there are no weapons in lockup. We have these lock boxes here to do that. Hey, Greg, can you stick something here to hold this door open?
Hey, it's a thing. Hey, what?
Okay.
Hey, Chief.
Huh?
Let me flip the switch and they'll all be unlocked.
Okay, thanks.
It's not working.
Thank you. Okay.
There you are, sir.
All right, come on in.
That's all right.
Don't worry about it, it'll be fine. We're okay. These are our cells.
Go on in there.
Come on in.
Go on, get your lock up.
We have a little mattress where the office, where the subjects that are arrested can lay down, sleep. We have a toilet, a sink.
Not a bad jail. I've been
No, not bad. Could be worse. So we have 6 of these cells. Just so we can have interviews, or if somebody needs a visitor, meet with their attorney, they can do that back here.
And those are soundproof things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is where people get fingerprinted.
How many lockups do you have?
We have 6 cells, 1 lockup, 6 cells. Sometimes we'll have prisoners here while we're interviewing them, filling out the sheet, asking them, you know, if they're suicidal, do they need medication, are they injured, do they need to go to the hospital, whatever.
What happened if you had more people than cells? What do you do?
We probably have to take them over to LaSalle County to process them. But we've never had a mass arrest situation here yet, where we've had more than 4 or 5 people. I've never seen that many people ever come through here in the 7 months I've been here as chief. For some reason, this cell is out of order. I don't know what it is. Could be the toilet or something broke down. We're going to pass that up.
They'll take that out. So you can film whatever you want. You know, they have a camera to take it out.
And this is another section, this is where we come out. We can come out this way too. We can bring them in from the garage.
So when they locked up, how long do they usually
Till their prints clear. We send their prints off, their prints go through APHIS, automatic fingerprint indexing, and when their prints clear, we can either bail them out here if it's a misdemeanor charge, and it's something like domestic battery, we can't bail them out here, they gotta go to LaSalle County, and LaSalle County will send them to the judge the next day.
So they're not here too long?
No. A jail really, this is what we call it a lock. It's a temporary processing center. And from here, we either bail them out here, like for misdemeanor DUI, stuff like that, or we'll send them over to LaSalle County, and they'll be released from there. So like I said, we fingerprint them here.
So what do you do like if somebody is sick and they gotta go to the hospital?
We take
you
an
still
officer,
have to lock them up
we
in the
take an
hospital?
officer with them, and they have to keep them in custody until they're fixed.
Wow.
Yep.
That's sad.
Well, it is what it is. You're still in custody. We can't release you just because you have the flu or something. Especially your domestic battery, you got to go for a judge. We can't release you at all from here. Judge set your bail. So this is our processing center. This is a breathalyzer for DUIs, impaired drivers, and this is it. This is our jail facility. Oh, that's right here.
And that's for anybody?
Yep.
Yeah,
you can't go in the lockup with any firearm. Firearms have to be locked up, secured before you go inside. Oh. This is our gym to the left. We have a treadmill. We have a stair climber. We have elliptical. We have weights, free weights. That's not bad. I mean, you can get a decent workout in here.
Saves on gym membership, that's for sure.
Well, I'm a member of the YMCA in town, and I'm there every morning at 6:30.
I used to go there. I try to do my own gym.
So I do 3 miles a day on the treadmill, and then I'll lift weights for about 30, 40, 45 minutes, and then get myself out of there and come to work. But I find it's better at the beginning of the day when I have the most energy to work out. When I have the most, sometimes I leave here and I'm like, oh God, I'm doing what? You know,
I'm early. If I don't get it done early, anything.
Because I get here at 8:30, and I sometimes, like today, I'll be here past 6 o'clock. I'll be here talking my roll call at 6 o'clock. That's kind of a long day.
Do you work out here?
I have not. I prefer the YMCA because there's nobody in here during the day, and I talk to other seniors like myself while I'm working out, and we kind of feed off each other's energy there. But I do occasionally see some officers in here working out using a treadmill.
It's a nice equipment.
Oh, it's not bad at all. The only thing I would want to add in here is a speed bag.
Oh yeah, you got the front.
You have the heavy bag, but I like to have a speed bag. You got to attach that to a wall.
They used to have that at the Y, but I don't know why they took it.
It's not there now. They don't have a speed bag at the Y. I have boxing gloves in my car. I'd love to use them on a speed bag. But so this is our gym. It's compact, but it fits. We have a water fountain here. So everything here you have, you need. No complaints. And we got a couple offices I'll show you down here, and this will be it.
You actually go break them just to be safe. That's what I was doing on the other side. And then I'll put them in the
That's the back end of the locker. Storage lockers here.
Is this for the officers?
No, this is for property we see until we can move into our property room.
He was pretty sure
This is like evidence.
Yes, exactly. This is the office of our
just to make sure.
community service officer, Kathy Spitznagel. She gets off at 1 o'clock, so she's gone for the day, but she does an excellent job.
That's strange.
She handles community needs. She transports paperwork down to the courthouse in Ottawa. She will process sex offenders have to come here to register because they have to stay registered. She fingerprints people. Some people come here and say they want to work for the school board or something. They have to have fingerprints. She will come here and bring them back to our lockup and get them fingerprinted so they have prints to take in to get their job application process. And Kathy stays busy all day long. She works here every day from 8 to 1 and she's busy every day. I don't know if anybody's actually signed here, but it's you.
Even Real said, well, I would imagine if it's empty.
Yeah, all the empty ones are good with, I would say, and just put all these ones just through the.
And this is the office of the deputy chief.
Just on the same side.
Yeah, just put
It's
because some of them have
automatically-
old policies.
No.
He's kind of busy right now, but this is his office. And this is where he works.
We could put a computer there.
I kind of wish our offices were closer together. Sometimes I got to walk all the way down here and talk to him about something. He'll walk all the way down on the corner to talk to me about something. But that's
You
how
get
it
your
is.
steps in, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely, definitely. So that's it, guys. This is it.
All right.
Like I say, a small facility, we're a small department. Currently 19 strong and soon to be 20. So this is it.
What's the age limit for being an officer?
40, I believe.
So even a transfer?
Actually, I don't think, we will not accept anyone on our eligibility list who takes a test, who's over, I believe, 38. We have taken laterals over that are older than that. Yeah.
Because I just saw that you had somebody hired. They looked like they was
Yeah.
not old,
Yeah, but they're probably about 40, maybe 42. Yeah, we've had a couple lateral moves come over from the sheriff's department since I've been here. One came before I got here and one has come since I've been here. So this is it. This is our facility.
So this concludes the tour.
Yeah, this is it.
It's a big place though.
It's not that big, really. Look, when I was with Chicago and I was a district commander, I had 301 officers under my command in one station. 301.
It used to be a really big, I think it was the biggest station in Chicago one time on Cottage Grove.
That's my station, 71st and Cottage, 3rd District. That's where I had my first command. Yes, sir.
I remember when they built it, did nobody know what it was called because it
Yeah.
was so futuristic at the time.
Yeah, it was back then. Now it's probably one of the oldest stations
Yeah.
with the Chicago Police Department. They built a whole lot of new stations in the last 15, 18 years. So this is it. And I also hold my monthly staff meetings in here with my sergeants. We all sit around that table and I listen to their concerns, they listen to my concerns. We have an open forum and we discuss ways in which we can continue to move the department forward. So this is it. Okay.
All right, well.
Oh, I think we're going to wrap it up for today with Out and About with Tony and Diane and Chief John Franklin of the
Thanks for
Streator
coming
Police
by. I
Department.
appreciate
We
it.
appreciate
Well, thank
your
you
time.
for
It's been
putting up
very
with us.
informative.
Thank you.
We're fortunate to have you. We're glad to have you. Streator is
I
happy
am
to have you.
fortunate to be here.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate to be here and work and serve the residents of Streator and work with a bunch of amazing officers here. I'm very fortunate.
Wow,
This
that's
is
cool.
a good
That's
place
nice
to be.
to hear.
Yeah.
That's nice to
Good
hear.
place to be.